Hey everybody, I'm here to do a quick review of a knife that I just got in, and yeah, it is the one I'm also subtly trying to have dangle from my neck here, and that is the Diving Sparrow, Sparrow 3 for 3-inch blade. It's a fantastic little knife, little carver, little utility knife. I'm going to do some very light batoning with it. It's not a knife I ever plan to baton with. I'll just show that it can, and I'm only going to do it with softwood. I have a very fine edge on it, and I don't want to take that edge off right now. A little piece of maple right here. Give you a bit of a look at the knife. Here it is here. Real peach. Micarta. Normally I don't have steel codes on my knife, but this one kind of slipped through, and it was already stamped up when I got it. So when I ordered it, it's not a big deal. But it's an ATS 34 stainless. And I have no familiarity with this steel, but Abe stands behind it, and if he uses it, then I know I can at least trust it, right? So, a little bit of batoning. I do mean little bit. I will not use that knife for this purpose. It's not what I got it for. I'm never going to have just this knife on me. And went through it like nobody's business. Really did. And I know that was quick and almost pointless. I do apologize if you feel that way. But like I said, it's not. I mean, it's no more. I wouldn't baton with a folder either to show you that you could do it, because that's never what I would use a folder for. If I had to in an emergency, then I would just do it and hope for the best, right? But I mean, if you do it with small enough wood and you take your time, you're going to be okay. Repetition will, of course, alter and affect that. But here we go. Like I said, it's more of a camp knife, small tasks, carving, food prep. Food prep and carving, I'd have to say, is what I got this for. The purpose of. And it just slices through wood. Now, when I got the knife, it performed as well as it's performing now. I changed the edge angle. And don't take any offense, Abe. Like I said, this knife sliced through the wood in the exact same ways it's doing now. The reason I changed the edge angle is it's for food purposes, for food prep purposes. And that's not the intent of this knife as far as I know. I haven't talked to Abe about that, to be honest. So I really shouldn't say that. But it didn't quite have the clean cut for things, as far as cutting through skins and that type of thing. I just needed to touch up the edge just a little bit, which I've done. And like I said, it processes through wood the same. So it goes to show you that the full flat grind with the edge that was on it before was fine. And I'd say it was almost 20 degrees, between 20 and 25 already. So I threw it on the Lansky for a 20. See if I can get that close enough. And it really all it did was thin the edge a little bit, and that's all I wanted to do. Like I said, it still performed, and I should have done it before and after. I wasn't thinking on that, guys, so my apologies, but take my word for it. It performed the exact same with wood as it's performing now. It just performs a lot better as far as cutting food. So anyways, you can see what it's doing for feather sticks. Look at that. I mean, seriously. Now that's a thinner piece of wood there. So we'll go to a slightly thicker piece here, a little bit thicker. and it bites in like no one's business. And for small cuts, you know, the control you can get on this blade is phenomenal. You know, you can really get down in there and do some finer work, whatever that may be. But I mean, it does a fantastic job. We'll go with the old tent peg because I can see myself using this for that. You know, breeze, easy peasy lemon squeezy. It does a fantastic job for that. This will be a shorter review because really I didn't bring any food out to show that. I mean, you know, it either cuts well through food, you know, slices well, or it doesn't, in my opinion, with very, very subtle degrees of difference in between. But this knife is really fantastic, you know. The handle, I mentioned before in the review I did for my Boreal, the quick review I did for my Boreal, about Rusty Curtis over at E2E doing a review. It was on this knife that he talked about the fit in the hand being like Play-Doh. You know, I gotta agree with you, Rusty. It's really kind of true, absolutely true. Actually, let me bring you in for a closer look. That'll be easier. You can see the mold and a grip on this particular one. There you go. You can see a little dip here. Swell, dip, swell, dip. It just, I mean, it really is like he had the, you know, if such thing is possible, it's almost like, you know, you could soften the micarta, then just squeeze it in your hand and let it harden, and that's what I ended up with. It's just really fabulous. And something I kind of want to point out that I don't see in a lot of knives, if I can get my other knife out here, my workhorse. I'll even pull out the OSK1. Let me see, if I turn them this way, maybe you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. We can get that to clear up. There we go. See how the handle comes up to the blade like that and just cuts off? See how the handle comes up to the blade like that and just cuts off? See how the handle comes up to the blade and is rounded? Now, of the knives I have, I can't think of any, and I'm going to have to do a check on that, and I'll update in the descriptions if any of the ones I have are different, but I don't believe so. Abe takes that extra step and rounds this off and blends that down into the blade, and it's the same. If I can pull the Boreal out, on the Boreal, and that really, for me, makes all the difference in choking up on a knife. For comfort, not that this is uncomfortable, but it's going to leave a hot spot. I mean, it's a straight edge. What can I tell you? Love this knife. Absolutely love this knife. To be honest, probably the only thing I would change is I would have liked to have seen this rounded down. Just a little bit more attention to detail, just that little bit more consideration for long-term use. Same thing with this, rounded down. But as in all his knives, you know, there's just that little extra step that's taken. And for me, for handle comfort, it makes all the difference. And that's the kind of attention to detail I like to see. You know, and again, not to put down Blind Horse, not to put down Charles May. I mean, to be perfectly honest, this is probably, I mean, they make knives, at least the handles for the knives I have from Blind Horse are nearly as comfortable as Abe's. Not quite. But, I mean, this is a comfortable handle. I have no issue with it. And that's a minor criticism, if you want to call it that. It's a very minor one, having that rounded. It would be a nice touch, but it's not necessary, and it doesn't lessen the fact that that's one of my absolute favorites. Kind of tied with this guy right now, almost, although that takes the edge a bit. You know, and I realize I started out with this as a Sparrow 3 quick review, but it's just something I wanted to point out about this handle, and Abe's handles in particular, and just how comfortable this is for a small carving knife. I mean, you know, if you're looking at this knife, I want to talk about its good points as much as I can to give you as much information as I can. That's kind of the idea of my reviews. If I don't always hit that mark on the target, you know, that is what I aim to do, though. And as I always say, if there's anything you want to know about this knife, you want to see about this knife, or you want me to do with this knife, being any of the knives I review, absolutely do not hesitate to ask, and I will do a video for you, for public, whatever the case may be. But I mean, it's just a absolutely comfortable knife. It really is. Choke up on it, it's just perfect. And if I can pop this off my neck here, just comes with a really, I don't want to say basic because I don't want it to seem crappy, a really good Kydex sheath. The retention on it is ridiculous, almost to the point of being too much. It's not, and as Abe explained, you know, everything loosens up a bit. And as a neck knife for me, that it's not bad at all. If I was trying to have this set up as on a waist rig, it'd be a little bit more difficult as far as trying to push that out with your thumb, because like I said, it's got some good tension on it. But as a neck knife, it's not an issue. So anyway, I hope you've liked my review and my chat and my little tangent on handles. As always, any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And I hope everyone enjoyed it. Have a great day and be well.